The college football playoff continues today with Penn State versus Notre Dame.
Both of these teams have fought all season long to get to where they are at this point. Penn State has beaten SMU and Boise State to get to the semifinals, and Notre Dame has beaten Georgia and Indiana.
In my opinion, this game right here is both of their teams' biggest test of the whole college football playoff. Penn State has beaten SMU and Boise State in the playoff, both teams that were probably the two worst in the whole college football playoff, and Notre Dame has beaten Indiana and Georgia. Indiana was not a great team at all. I don't think they should have made it, and Georgia didn't have their starting quarterback. This Penn State team as well can't really beat up on good teams, and they can only beat up on bad teams. But let's see what Vegas thinks. The spread for this game currently is basically a pick'em, and Notre Dame is favored by 1.5, and the total is sitting at 45.5. Before we talk about that some more, let's take a look at Notre Dame this season. They started off with a huge win in A&M, and then had a very unfortunate loss at home against Northern Illinois. That game, Notre Dame just got outplayed, outcoached, and there's nothing you can do about that. But Notre Dame really bounced back and haven't lost a single game since then. Marcus Freeman has these boys ready for this game, and they knew after that Northern Illinois game that they basically could not lose another game. Notre Dame has played absolutely insane, and one of their best games, in my opinion, was against Army. Notre Dame played some of their best football in that game, bat-to-bat blowouts against Virginia and Army. Notre Dame ended the season against USC and then beating Indiana in the first round of the playoff at home. Notre Dame, their problem, in my opinion, is that they start off too slow. But then against Georgia, once again, 0 points in the first quarter, starting off slow, but end up winning that game 23-10 with some big plays on defense and special teams. In my opinion, though, this Georgia team was not the same without Carson Beck, and Gunnar Stockton definitely did not play well. Before I get into anything else, I need to talk about how good we have been on Premium. I have a betting service where I give out all of my plays, and we're 12-3 in our last 15, and on Ets, we're 7-1. Back over to Penn State, Franklin is 0-5 against teams ranked in the top 5 by the College Football Selection Committee. What is crazy to note is that he has lost those games on an average by 20.4 points. Big Game Franklin is not a thing at all. He cannot beat good teams. Franklin is 3-19 against top 10 teams, and Drew Aller is 0-4. Will Penn State be able to step up to the plate today against Notre Dame? I'm not too sure about that. Sometimes it's hard to ignore these narratives, as Penn State has a really difficult time. They can only beat up on good teams, in my opinion, as we can see by their schedule, whooping up on a pretty bad West Virginia team, a Bowling Green team, and absolutely dominating a Kent State team. Yes, these wins are huge, but when you can't do much against ranked teams, those really stand out. And almost losing this game against USC, that's a pretty big test, and as we can see, at home against Ohio State with a 10-0 lead, they end up blowing that game. And Ohio State obviously is on the other side of the college football playoff. And as we guys can see here again, getting beat up by Oregon. And Oregon is not even alive anymore. Oregon got killed by Ohio State. This just feeds into our narrative that Penn State cannot beat good teams. In my opinion, I do not think SMU was that great of a team, nor do I think Boise State was that good of a team. Penn State and the Big Ten just have way too much firepower for SMU and Boise State to handle. I want to hear your guys' score predictions, and my score prediction for this game is Notre Dame to win 27-17. I think Notre Dame moves on to the national championship to play Ohio State. Comment down below your score prediction. Let me know if you agree with this. Thanks, guys.